Okay. So, well, I want to welcome you here at my webinar, How to Motivate Students to Learn. I am really excited to be here with all of you, as I said, and I am about to begin. Of course, my name is Dr. Val Marguerite, and I am here today to share my 15 years of experience, plus my passion and enthusiasm, and really my mission in life, which is education, to improve education and give a chance to every student out there to have opportunities in life and to live their full highest potential. So if we are ready, let's begin. I am going to share my screen. There you go. My screen is here. Okay, excellent. So, how to motivate students to learn? And let's move on to the second slide. So, I'm really happy to be here with all of you. As I said, my name is Val Marguerite, and as you see, I am an award-winning educator, a trainer, an author. I served in many different capabilities throughout my tenure, over 15 years now. I have degrees in sociology and political science, education and education administration leadership. And over my 15 years of experience, I have trained and taught countless number of people. I am also a meditation teacher, mindfulness meditation teacher, which at some point probably we are going to talk a little bit about it, because I think is the secret, right, to focusing on what's really important. I am a global citizen like all of you. Yes, I care about the world, I care about the community, and I want to contribute and make it better. I am a marathon runner because health and fitness is really important to our success. And I believe in unlimited human potential. As a neuro-linguistic programming advocate, and I've been using it for 7 years now, you can imagine I'm really excited to be here today to share all the secrets with you and to perhaps motivate our students and even ourselves to do better. What do you think? Are you ready? Excellent. So let's go. So our agenda today, just like we are teaching in the classroom, yes? Our agenda today, we are going to identify motivation theories that are linked to learning and achieving goals. We are going to talk about mindsets, student mindset, educator mindsets. We are going to talk about the 3 M's that I'm going to share with you throughout my presentation. We are going to talk about enhancing and pedagogy skills and approaches to the way you teach and how that makes a difference in whether students become motivated in your classes. And of course, we are going to explore the teaching, the transformational educational leadership. Because I think, and you will tell me if you agree or not, if we do the same thing over and over again, that is called what? Yeah, I hear you. That is called insanity. And I think Einstein remembers us of that. So in order for us to do better in anything, we need to change the way we do things. Perhaps the way we think, the way we learn, the way we do things. So this is our agenda for today. So we have an intention for today. Yes? Are you ready for a transformational learning experience? Yes? Time's up? Excellent. Because without an intention, yes, we may not be focused on what it is we want to accomplish. When we do have an intention, we are training the brain to focus on what we want to accomplish. So for today, transformational learning experience, you are here today to really stay open and to learn. Yes, to learn and to improve your teaching practices, perhaps your leadership practices, and really your own self overall. I want you to be not only happy in the classroom and to make progress for your students, but I want you to be a happy and a healthy professor so you can have a holistic view when it comes to teaching and living, because they are linked. Right? We can't just be successful in the classroom without being successful in our own personal lives. So the two are really closely connected. So that is our intention for today, to transform learning and to transform our lives. Okay, 8%. So let's begin here. We are setting the stage, yes? So 8% of the people, generally speaking, achieve their goals. 8%. So 92% of the people do not achieve their goals. I mean, think about it. That's incredible. That means the majority of the people do not achieve their goals. Why? Why is it that the 8% of the people, what is it that they do, yes, and we don't do? We don't know how to do it. So with that in mind, I want you to think about it, because if only 8% of the people achieve their goals, that's of course related to motivation, yes? And when we talk about student learning and motivation in the classroom, many of our students, if they are not motivated in the classroom, they are going to end up being part of this 92%. And we don't want that. We want to increase that 8%. We want to achieve our highest potential in life. Why not, right? I mean, think about it. We are here to do our best every day, not once in a while. So we are here to really learn how and what the 8% do, so we can do it. You are lucky because I am going to share with you today. So you don't have to work any harder, right? Because I've done the work for you and I'm going to share with you today. So let's see. So that's 8%. Now, when it comes to education and graduation rates, for example, this is in the United States. So if you are in the United States, you are probably not surprised. As you can see, our graduation rates are really low. And what is that? I mean, it's really a problem, and we need to do better. We absolutely need to do better, but we can only do better if we change the way we have been doing business. Okay? Now, if we go further, here what we have, college graduation rates in the 29 countries. Yes? So you can see the United States is the red, all the way down, not even 50%. Now, we don't have, for example, India is not here, yes, because it's not part of the 29 OECD countries that actually take part in the survey, in the test. So this is really important, and that is why I have this here, because we live in a global world. We are interconnected. We are no longer one dimension, so to speak, right? Learning and teaching and thinking and working. We are now interconnected, and that's beautiful. Because look, think about it. I'm here and you are there. Where you are is evening. You are probably relaxing now, listening to this presentation and enjoying. Perhaps you are taking notes, I hope, yes? And I am here, it's still in the morning, but I am miles and miles away, different continent, and here we are connected on the computer. Technology makes it possible for us to be connected. So we want our students to be aware of the global world, because when they finish school, when they graduate from college, they are going to integrate in the global community. So if they are not ready, if they don't have the necessary skills to integrate successfully, they are going to be in trouble. Not only them, right, but also the institutions from where they have graduated, because obviously they didn't prepare them to be successful in the real world. So we have to keep this data. Data is powerful, right? We have the data, we can really argue with the data. And the third one, are college graduation rates important? Of course. Students come to us, yes, to graduate on time and to be successful and to really graduate with the skills, the knowledge, the attitudes, the beliefs, to go in the real world and make a difference, perhaps to solve world's problems, to make the world better, right? That's what education is about. Education, it's about contributing to the community, contributing to the country, to the world, and make it better. And that's why education is incredibly important, and that's why you, as the educator, play such an important role. Colleagues, you agree, right? Education is one of the most important professions in the world. Yes? Because every other profession depends on having a high-quality teacher. A teacher who's passionate and enthusiastic about teaching students, right? And teachers who actually understand the motivational behaviors, the theories, how people learn, and all the pedagogical approaches, so that they can use it in their classes and reach out to the students. So as you can see, when we look at by race and gender, we are not surprised, yes? I don't know if you are surprised, depends where you are, but this is not a surprise that we have problems in terms of race. And African American, Hispanic, Native, they're always lower than the white. So we definitely need to do better when it comes to race and equity, right? How we allocate resources. In other countries as well, you have students coming in to your classes with different levels, right? Different levels of understanding, yes? Knowledge levels, skills. So you, as the educator, what are you going to do to make sure someone, right, a student in your class who is at this level and another student who is at this level, what are you going to do to make sure they both achieve success, which means that they both receive the support, yes, the support they need from you. And that's what it means for you to understand that students are at different levels, and you need to know how to motivate and empower all of your students to work hard and achieve success. Okay. And the last, as far as graphs, why students drop out. And we have this, and it's really, you know, not a surprise, right? I mean, look at this. It's money, it's too expensive, and boring teachers. I mean, come on, we need to do better. And in other countries, it's pretty much the same. It comes at the, you know, quality of teaching, one of the top, right? Quality of teaching, and then finances. It's too expensive. And because it's too expensive, students, they need to take part-time or drop out because they need to get work. And then teachers are not doing a good job. Come on, I know we can do better. We can only make the impact we can. And I hope I am helping you today to become a rock star teacher. Okay. So, and here is the India, right? If I know I have colleagues in India, and I'm really excited that you're taking this time. And by the way, you know, I'm really excited that you are so interested in learning and perhaps improving your teaching practice. So you give an opportunity to all of your students to achieve success in your class and then to go out in the real world and to make it better. So of course, in India, for example, quality of teaching, lack of quality teaching, 80%. Oh, no, we can do better. Absolutely, we can do better. So now the fun begins. So we have established our stage, right? We have looked at different data, right? To really understand the numbers. And with that in mind, now we can dive in to the motivational strategies and theories and mindsets and see how can we use all of it, right? To improve our lives and our students' learning outcomes. Now, you are familiar with this, yes? I never teach, I only provide conditions. So think about it. Provide conditions. Now, this means that you have to think about environments. What kind of learning environments you need to create so that all of your students achieve success? That would be one of the questions that you need to keep in mind as you prepare for your classes, as you design your courses or your assignments. Okay. Are you ready for some other numbers? So we already said earlier that 8% of the people achieve goals. That's why I'm fascinating with this 8%, because I want to learn. I want to know what they do so I can do it myself. And that's how I began studying successful people. I was intrigued. I was like, wait a minute, what is it that you can do? Because if you can do it, I can do it too. There is nothing stopping me. I study neuroscience and neuroplasticity, the brain and how we learn, right? So I know I have the ability. I have the capability. All I need to do is learn how to use my mindset, right? How to use my motivation, which is what this is all about, and what kind of methods I need to implement so I can get it done and achieve my goals. The second number is 70% of the people, and I'm a little bit generous here, okay? I think this number is even higher, do not enjoy their jobs, their careers. My friends, how is it possible that most people do not enjoy their jobs and we spend 1/3 of our life, right, working? Do you think that's related, right? That's related with the 8%? Do you think this is related to how students perform in their classes? Do you think this is related to how we deliver education? Yes, absolutely. So let's see if we can change this, because I cannot imagine living our lives, most of our lives, not enjoying our jobs. I think there is a way. We can enjoy our jobs, we can enjoy our lives, we can have meaningful relationships, we can have health, we can have everything we want. We just need to reframe, right, the mindset and how we do business. Okay, now 55% or so of students drop or fail, which means that graduation rates are low. That is also connected to what we just discussed, right? Because the teaching is not good enough and the education is too expensive. So we need to work on both. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, the mindset is the #1 reason. And here we have to think about what is it? What is the difference between the student mindset and the instructor mindset and your leadership mindset, right? So it's all about the mindset when we look in terms of success, whether it's learning, whether it's teaching, whether it's leadership. Because the mindset is really what? It's our beliefs, right? Beliefs, for example, about our ability or capability to achieve what we want to achieve. Think about it. We talked about goals, and only 8% of the people achieve them, right? So all of us want to achieve goals, but only 8 achieve them. Now, we have to wonder about the beliefs and what do we think about our ability or capability to stretch the mind, to stretch the brain, yes, to achieve, to be part of that 8%. Okay, so the #1 is the mindset. And we really need to explore this, right? So it's a good example when it comes to mindset. You probably have heard 1954. This is the example. 1954, the 4-minute mile. Yes, have you heard? In 1954, let's see, his name was Roger Bannister, yes, ran a mile in 4 minutes. 4 minutes. I mean, no one thought that was possible. And we're talking about in 54, not in 2020. Now, because he did it, other people decided, you know what, I'm going to break that record. So they wanted to run even faster. And if you know the story, of course, they have achieved their goals. So you see, if you don't believe it first, of course you're not going to achieve anything, because you can only achieve what you believe, yes? But if you stretch, or you change your belief system, or you unlearn some of the beliefs you have been socialized, right? Whether it's your culture, your education system, your family, your belief system, as I said, then you need to unlearn some of these things, because obviously they're not working and they keep you back from achieving your highest potential. So I like to use that example because as a runner myself, you know, I always love to challenge myself and my students, because I know that the brain is capable of stretching to unlimited, in unlimited ways. So for that to happen, we need to place ourselves in environments when we can do that. Remember earlier we talked about learning environments for your students? What Einstein said, that, you know, I don't teach students, I only create learning environments where students can learn and achieve their full potential. Well, this is a good example. We create environments for all of us to stretch our mindset, to visualize ourselves achieving our highest potential, because that's why we're here. We're not here to be average, yes? We are here to be extraordinary. And to be extraordinary, we need to have extraordinary expectations. So, okay. We have two kinds of mindsets that are popular, and many people use them in their classes and in their discussions, right? We have the fixed mindset and we have the growth mindset. Now, of course, our students come to us, yes, with both. And it is your job, our job as educators, to find out what mindsets they have, because if we know their mindset, we also know their beliefs and whether they work hard in our classes, whether they put forth the determination needed to achieve success in your own class. And then you have the growth mindset. And the growth mindset, as I have some examples here, right? Hey, if I didn't do well on this test, that is because I need to work harder. That is a growth mindset, right? Because the student with this mindset wants to grow and learn every day and become better. Whereas the students with a fixed mindset, they are all interested about the grade. I can do this. Oh, why take an engineering class? I already know I can do it. That's a fixed mindset, yes? And you, as the professor, you come in and say, no, 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 no. You can do it, and I will help you. I will help you. I am going to give you the resources you need to first understand that you, as a human being, are capable for achieving success. And then you help them step by step. So these different perspectives, right? The fixed and the growth. The fixed, they believe intelligence is fixed. You are born with it and there's nothing you cannot do. That's wrong. We know it's wrong. The science is there. Research plenty. We're not going to go into details about that. So we can use the science in our classes, in our discussions, to educate our students that, look, if you think you have a fixed mindset, that's probably because of how you were socialized, how you were raised, perhaps your community, your parents. But now you are in college, or now you are in my classroom, and I am going to help you transition, if you will, yes, or change from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And here's the science. So you don't think, that is just me saying, but actually the research shows that the brain is capable it's flexible and is more than able to adapt to new environments, to new learning environments, and to new way of thinking. Okay, so excellent instructors like yourselves call ordinary students to embrace their own excellence. Educators, as I said earlier, teaching is the most important profession, right? Why? Because let me see here. Because every other profession relies on it. And that's why when we see our students, we think about, wow, this is our opportunity, yes, to change lives. This is my opportunity to transform lives, because you are not going to teach the same way you did yesterday, unless you have the same students. But even if you do, you are going to come up with different strategies, because you want to keep the students inspired and motivated so they can drive their own education, right? You are teaching them to be responsible for their own learning, so they don't depend on you. Yes. So here, with regards to motivation and the science behind it, we often talk about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, right? You probably talk about this in your classes, and this is related to our previous slide, which was the growth and the fixed mindset. And this is what we have, right? The intrinsic and extrinsic. Of course, what we want is the intrinsic. Students come to class ready to learn, excited to see you. Now, of course, we also want educators to be the same way. We want them to come to class excited, because excitement, yes, and passion for your teaching and your expertise is contagious. When your students see you, how excited you are about teaching your course and how excited you are about helping them achieve success, guess what? They are going to also be motivated to work even harder in your classes. So the intrinsic, they enjoy, they have a purpose, they're curious, right? They have a passion. They ask questions. Whereas the extrinsic, it's all about the grades, yes, reward, prizes, winning, paycheck, for example. Yes, we want to get away from that. And I think we have an opportunity as educators. Every day we walk into the classroom, we have an opportunity to change lives, to transform lives, so that students, when they leave your classes and they graduate, they're not going to go into the real world joining the 70% who do not enjoy their career, and as a result they are miserable. We want our students to go in the world and really be happy about the work they do and be proud for the work they do. Okay, so a few things here, yes? I want to see if this, yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, the effects of motivation on students. We have deep learners, and we have strategic learners and surface learners. Now, the deep learners, you know, those are the students who come to class, eager to learn. And what you need to do with the students, you need to provide even more resources to keep them motivated. The second group of students, strategic learners, these are extrinsic, right? Their motivation is extrinsic. It's attached to grades, to assignments. So what you need to do there is to work with them to be interested in the subject. You have to provide examples as to how the course they are taking with you will help them be successful in the real world, so they can work harder, so they can see that their efforts will pay off. And the third group is surface learners. These learners are motivated because they don't want to fail, right? They don't want to fail. They don't want to look bad in front of other people. And how are you going to help them is to really increase their confidence, to give praise to not necessarily to them, but to the work they do, and to push them and tell them you can do even better. Just try A, B, and C, and you are going to do even better. So that's how you are going to manage this group of students who don't yet understand, right, that intrinsic motivation will allow us to live productive, happy, healthy, successful lives. Whereas extrinsic motivation is just tied in with results, rewards, perks. So you have to be motivated by something. When that something is removed, what are you going to do? You are not going to be happy. Yes, you are going to be depressed. You are going to be stressed out. And we don't want stress. We don't want anxiety. We want to enjoy the work we do. We want to enjoy teaching and helping our students. And that's one way to do it. Okay, theories of motivations. I wonder if, where is this better here? Or this here? Okay. Theories of motivation. So we have the most important ones I have here for you are the behaviorism, goal orientation, relative value, and expectancy of goal achievement. These are important, and the reason I have them here so that you are familiar with it. Okay, and what I want, let me see here. I want to ask one of you, if you see me on the slide. Let me see. Can anybody say if you see me on my on the slide as I present? Can somebody let me know? Yes, okay, thank you so much. Let me see. Dr. Arvid, thank you so much. Because I moved this around, I don't want to take too much space, so I want to make sure you see me. Okay. I don't know where this should be here. Okay. Let's go with this. So with behavior, you see, we have positive and negative reinforcement. And understanding this is really important because positive reinforcement obviously is the best. Negative reinforcement is when students, they are afraid of getting a bad grade. Yes, they are afraid about how they look in front of other people. Now, with goal orientation, we have two kinds: performance and learning. Now, we want learning because we want our students to be lifelong learners. Performance, they're only learning to get a grade and to get the degree. And then what? They don't have the skills. They don't have the skills to be productive in the real world. And that was one of the data, right, from the slides we looked at, that students are not employable. They don't have the skills necessary for their particular degree. And that is because of the performance goal. So students were not interested in learning and becoming lifelong learners and be curious, right? They were interested in grades. So we need to change that mindset. And the relative value of the goal, and this is of course important and is related to the previous point, and that is, we have to teach students to look at learning as of value without having the mindset of a lifelong learner. In this world that is changing as we speak, many of us are going to be left behind because we are going to have trouble adapting. So we have to be sure our students understand that. And then and the last one is expectancy. Expectancy, how do they expect themselves to perform? Because if they have self-efficacy, if they believe they can do it, guess what? They are going to work harder. But if they have that fixed mindset and they think like, oh, I can do that. I can become a good speaker. I can do math. I can do physics. Of course you can. It may take you a little longer. It may take you a different way, right, to do it, a different method. But in terms of whether you can or cannot, absolutely you can. And that's so we need to use this theories of motivation for ourselves, right, because knowledge is power when we apply it, and then we can empower our students. Okay, and now, are you ready? Yes? Perfect. So strategies for motivating students. These are science-based, they're powerful, and they are going to not only change your students' lives, and as a result, your institution, right? That percentage, 80% or 70% lack of quality teaching is going to go down, okay, after today, or when you go back to the classroom. So, very simply, right, we can put this together in these 3 M's here, secrets. First is the mindset. That's where everything begins, right? Because it's about our beliefs. It's about our beliefs, our perspective about ourselves, about the world, about our students, about other people, other culture, everything. We are our beliefs. So first it begins with the mindset. Without doing the work, without questioning our beliefs and why we believe the way we do, yes? Without questioning that and understanding who we are not going to be able to make the transformational difference or experience for our students and anybody around us, really. So step number 1 is mindset. Step number 2 is the motivation. The motivation is really why. Why are you doing what you're doing? If you set up a goal, the motivation is asking, why are you doing that? Why do you plan to achieve that? Because the why gives you the passion and the drive, the motivation, right? Now, it's not just your passion, yourself, but you have a purpose which is bigger than yourself, and that is your teaching, your students. You want to make a difference. So when you understand the motivation behind everything that you do, whether it's personal life or professional life, that's where you find the motivation, the excitement to especially on days when you don't feel like it, right? Because life, we have ups and downs, right? So when we don't feel like working hard, the motivation is going to help us to get out there and get the work done, because we understand that we don't have to work hard only when we feel good. The purpose and the mission, it's higher than that. And number three, or the third M, is method. How do you do it? How do you do it? Remember the 8%? How do they do it? What do they know that we don't? Because they achieve their goals, their big purpose. Yes? How do they think? What kind of imagination and visualization they have? What kind of systems and methods do they have in place? Because obviously they do something that most of the people don't know, or if they do, they don't want to do it. Yes? So these are the three important M's for you to, it's very simple to achieve, yeah, to remember, and it's simple to implement. Of course, it's very difficult to achieve, but that is the secret. Because if you want it bad enough, you're going to achieve it. So when you teach this to your students, I hope that you can introduce this to your classes, if not the whole thing, and you can share, you know, our webinar with them. In fact, I invite you and your students to my webinars. You can at least share this with them and ask them about the mindset. Hey, how do you think about yourself, your studies, right? Ask statement questions. And then why? And then the method. What kind of method do we need to implement to make sure we achieve what we want? Because the belief, the mindset, right? The way we need to believe is to think if tomorrow we are better than today. If we are better than today, it means we have a growth mindset and we are looking for ways to be better tomorrow. Because we don't want to be where we were last week. Every day a little better. Because we already established the brain, yes, it's plastic, it's elastic. We know that from science, neuroscience, neuroplasticity as related to learning. It has a limitless capacity and capability. So imagine, all we have to do is to imagine what we want tomorrow to be and then make it happen. And the making happen, it's all about the mindset to believe, motivation, what is the motivation to be better tomorrow, and how are you going to get better? That would be the method. Sounds good? Time's up? Yes? Excellent. Okay. So now, we are coming to you. This is your playbook, if you will, right? With regards to transformational educator mindset. How are you going to transform your students' motivation in the classroom? And by the way, this of course applies to your life, no? Because look, your students cannot go above you. Like if your motivation level is here, if your expectations are here, the students obviously are going to be here. They can't go over you because you are not going to teach that. So we always need to be a step ahead. So we can motivate students, yes, and show them how to do it. So this is the plan for you. Your mindset, your persona, your course, your teachings, and your assignments. This here will make you a powerful educator. This will make you a rock star educator. Why? Because the students now are not going to just do well in your class, but they're going to do well in the real world. They're going to get a good job. They're going to have the skills they need. And as a result, your institution is going to do very well, and that percentage is going to go down. So let's take a look briefly at each one to see how each one plays together and how they are related together. So, your mindset. What kind of mindset do you have? That's the question. Do you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? Can you type it in? Let's see. Yes? Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so mindset, just as we talked about the students, thank you. Just as we talked about the students, thank you very much. We also have to question our own mindset. And don't be afraid, right? Don't be afraid to question your beliefs. If they are no longer serving you, if they are not helping you achieve your best, why hold on to them? Right? Yes, exactly. So first, we need to do the groundwork ourselves in order to make the changes for our students. Okay, so first is the mindset. The second is your persona, and that is related to the mindset. How do you think of yourself? How do you think of yourself? Do you show up with enthusiasm? Are you motivated? Are you excited about where you are in your life? Because everything is related. We can be extraordinary in the classroom if we are stressed out. Yes, if we are stressed out and anxious and we have too many responsibilities, and perhaps your chair, if or your leaders or your faculty, if you are in a leadership position. So, you know, because when we are stressed out, the brain cannot think. And in fact, when we are stressed out, we don't make good decisions. So we want to make sure that we have a very good grasp of who we are and how we show up in the world. Because students will see, when you come to the class, they look at you and they are going to feel how, you know, their perception about yourself. So here are some of the things I put here for you. Do you teach with enthusiasm and energy? Are you excited about your class? Do you have a learner-centered teaching philosophy? That means everyone participates and everyone learns. It's not a teacher-centered, because that's not working, never has, never will be, because it's not about you, right? It's never about us. It's about our students. So as long as we are making progress, as long as our students learn every day, then we are successful. We are making progress. How about why you teach? Tell the students what excites you about the course you're teaching. Why did you become a teacher? Okay, high expectations. This goes back to the growth mindset, right? To be exceptional, to be extraordinary, we need to have high expectations and be really serious about it. Okay, how about give students control over their education? We know from science that when students are involved, right, and accountable, when you give choices to the students about how to show their mastery, how to show their work, then they're far more committed and involved in their education. Okay, so this is what we need to change. And embrace lifelong learning. Walk the talk. That's what I always say. Show the students how you do it. Yes, show them why it's so powerful to have a lifelong learning mindset, and why that's more important than ever in the world we live today. That is changing as we speak. It's unpredictable. There is no predictability to jobs. This time we are in this world, we are going to change jobs at least 10 times. So adaptability and cognitive flexibility, we need to work on that in order for us to survive. All right? So this is your persona. So I want you to do tonight or tomorrow in your journal. You can get a journal. You know, the journals are supported by science. And write in your journal about your day and perhaps your persona. Who are you? Whether as a teacher, as a sister, as a brother, as a spouse, however many roles you have, how do you show up in life every day, really? And then you can write down, and if you write down, you know, that's when you learn, because you are going to reflect, you are going to think about, right? You are not going to just, you know, act on it, like instant, without thinking. You're not going to react, that is the word. So you are thinking about it. Okay, who am I? How do I show up in the world? How others perceive me, yes. How do I go about my methods and my motivation? What is my motivation for doing A, B, C, and D? So you see, if we understand who we are, really at the core, our values, and our values are aligned with our beliefs, and then we align with the methods, then we are on our way. So, your persona. Next, we have your course, right? Your course, your class that you teach. I don't know if your institution, for example, they design your courses and then you have very little control, or you design your own courses and you have far more control. Either way, you do have control. You are the educator in the class. So how you shape your conversation, it's up to you. The words you use with your students, it's up to you, right? The meaning and the intention behind your words must match your enthusiasm and purpose. There's no negative words, no negative energy, right? We established you are a growth mindset teacher, so you believe in all of your students, and as a result, you are going to now create your course with your students in mind. You are answering the why, the what, and the how. If you answer this, I can guarantee you, your students will love you. Why? Because now they can relate to the course. It is about them and their needs, and they can see themselves successful in the real world, because what you're doing in class with them, it is about them. And that's how it should be. And I think that's how we can improve education for everybody, because every student, every person in the world needs an opportunity to a better life. And as educators, I think we can do that. Okay, the next one is your teaching, and that is the method. Remember the 3 M's, right? We are coming full circle. What is your method? How are you going to achieve your goals in your class, right? So you have to really examine if your method is good enough, if your method achieves the goals. If not, then you have to rethink your method, you have to adapt, you have to change what is not working, because really the result is student success. If students achieve success in your class, it means this, the method is working. And you always want to reflect on that so you can make it even better. Yes, and some of the examples that I have here, yes, you know, you have your students be involved. You are a team, right? You are sort of like a coach. You are facilitating the learning. You are telling students, do better, you can do better, just like a coach. I mean, think about it. Why do you think the best athletes in the world have coaches? Think about it, right? They're already the best in their field. Many of them are #1, and they have a team of coaches, right? Mindset coach, performance coach, this coach, that coach. Why? Because they understand that it's one thing to get here and another thing to stay there. Yes? So you are doing the same thing. You are sort of like a coach, a facilitator in your class. So you always need to sharpen your methods. And the last one is your assignments. Your assignments, if your assignments are not useful to their students, if your assignments are not teaching and preparing your students for the real world, they're not working. They're not working. You need to redo them, redesign them. Show your students models, right, of assignments you expect them to do. Give your students ABC papers, for example, if that's the grading system you're using. And use different assessments. Formative, right, and summative. Give your students different opportunities to show what they can do. Build their confidence, their self-belief. Give them a chance every day to show what they can do. Be flexible, because it's all about them. It's about learning. So we need to really be flexible ourselves, because sometimes teachers are not very flexible. They're sort of like very rigid. That's no longer working. That's an old system and old thinking. The new way of thinking and learning and living is to be flexible and adaptable. And for us educators, this is our opportunity to really transform education, so everybody has a chance to live a good life, right? Okay, let's see what else we have. So I think transformative education, this is the path to success. There is no other way. I don't think we are here to just, you know, have a job that we spend most of our life and not enjoy it. I don't think we are here on this earth to not be happy and less stressed and have good relationships with each other, and to really help our students. Give them the motivation they need. Be a role model for your students. Show them how to live, how to work, how to think, and how to learn, so they can really live high quality lives, and they will always remember you. And this is our chance, transformative education, the path to success in school, work, and in life. I think this is the way, because transformative education is really about changes, right? We can achieve something amazing without changing our mindset first. And that's where we need to go, to transform our beliefs. Now, of course, I have many webinars on neuroplasticity and reprogramming the brain. If you go on my website, you see all of them there. Of course, please feel free to email me if you have any questions. And as we recap, and I'm going to answer your questions, I'm going to ask you your questions. Yes, yes. What have we learned today? We have learned today about mindsets, about motivation theories, about strategies, about the 3 M's, right? What are they? Mindset. Everything begins here. The most powerful computer we all have is like right here, between our ears. Let's use it. Let's make it powerful. Yes, and smooth. Let's take everything that's not working and slows it down. Let's take it out. Let's clean it up. Let's update it. Yes? And strategies for motivating our students and transforming the education system. Well, if you don't have my information and you need to reach me, here is my information that you can, my contact information. Please feel free to also connect with me on social media. If we are not already, you can easily find me just by going to my website, for example. If you are on my contact list, then you are already ahead of everybody, because I'm going to keep you posted, and I have some cool stuff that I send out, because I am really passionate about achieving our full potential. And please feel free to connect with me and send me an email if you wish, or if you have any questions. And now I am going to take your questions. So let's see, what sort of questions do we have? Perfect. Let's see here. I am going to stop the share.